I used to have 50 plus video ideas scattered across my Apple Notes, Google Docs, and random voice memos. And I could never find anything when I truly needed it. So I built a Notion dashboard that turned my content chaos into a system that actually gets the videos made. And today I'm going to walk you through how I made it and how you can access it too. So your best ideas never get lost again. I used to find a lot of stuff that was cool, like improvement points or inspiration points for my next video, and think, yeah, I'll put that into my next video, and then completely forget about it when the time comes around to making said video. So I made these two databases, which are improvement points and inspiration points, where it's pretty self-explanatory. For each of these sectors, hooks, thumbnail, scripting, editing, and ideation, I just put down stuff that I found interesting that I found online. And when I'm having a bit of a writer's block or I don't know what to do when facing a certain video idea, I'll come back to this as my little Pinterest board of ideas and get some inspiration, get the creative juices flowing. So we'll have general scripting, ideation, editing, thumbnails, and for each of these, I'll put in the sector, the video link, and the YouTube in case I want to watch the video again to see how they used it. Next, we're going to move to the main meat and potatoes of this system, which is the content board. And this part's job is to basically track every single video idea over each stage of the production pipeline. I find this really useful for having a big bird's eye view over all your video ideas. So you can point things out like, I haven't worked on this video for a while and this is falling behind. So in this database view, we have 5 years. First, we have the ideas. These are the things that just an idea I haven't done anything with. But if I want to start working on them, I'll just click start and it'll automatically transfer it to the next stage, which is, for me, is ideation. But of course, you can change these around as you like by editing the stage property and changing around these tags. And back we go. Then that'll move it to the in progress view, which tracks it all the way from ideation, gathering the thumbnail design, scripting, filming, and eventually publishing. And of course, there's a view here across all your content types for the videos that have been published. And if you're the kind of guy who posts really consistently, which is not me, clearly, this calendar view of your published dates is really useful for managing all that. Within each video, let's just go with the video I'm filming right now. The main properties you'll use is a description of what the video is, any random notes or ideas that you have just at random points in time, you can keep them here, and packaging design, which are basically thumbnail and title combinations that are made using this website called thumbsup.tv. I'll put that in the description too. And finally, we have our type of content, which is basically the content bucket or medium you want to fit it in. Very useful if you've got multiple platforms you want to publish on. For me, that's like Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, my skills academic blog. If you want to change them around, you go add property and change it like so. Now we get to the actual page content. This is a template that'll appear for every single content page. And we start off with the improvement point. For this video, I wanted to use the rule of thirds in my thumbnail. Hopefully I succeeded. So basically in this call out here, I just reference a certain page in my improvements database from all the drop downs from each of the different sectors I have in my database. After that's done, I move to the idea and the packaging concept. This is where I start with my video idea, the thing I want to talk about. Then I gradually try to make it just a little bit more interesting and something that you'd want to click on. So I start with the boring topic. I come up with a bunch of ideas to make it less boring. Then I go online and try to identify 2 ideas that have worked on the platform before. Sometimes I just skip that bit because who wants to research? Then I shortlist the best ones and I come out with my final idea. Next, I move on to the titles. And in this title database, I start with the all view, which is where I list down all the titles I come up with. I try to go for 10 per video, so I have a wide bank to choose from. This is the character length. I know that I want to try get it under 60 characters, so it's pretty easy and fast to read. And if I like the title, I'll push this like checkbox. That'll progress it to the like. Out of these 5 or so titles, I try to pick the best 1 or best 2 titles out of it. And then these are the ones that will appear in our best view, and they're the ones I'm going to use for the final video. Then I progress onto the thumbnail content. I try to go for 3 designs per video so I can split test them with YouTube's new split testing feature. For each design, I dot point what I want it to look like. Then I draw some. Then I kind of sketch them out in my book to see how the composition works. I find it useful to just sketch out the thumbnail first and see how it might look before I move on to Photoshop, so I don't spend hours tinkering with the design there. And next we move on to the scripting part. I've since moved this area onto Google Docs because I don't want this page to be too crowded, and I've got a different system for organizing it there. I'll go over that in a future video, don't you fret. But if you want to keep everything inside Notion, you have your hook, you have some prompting questions to kind of get the creative juices flowing. Then I try to go for 2 hooks per video, and so I can choose the best one. Okay, then you outline your script. I start with my content riff. I'll go over that in a second. Then I outline the video, use some branding components, and I'll write the script. After I film it, I go to my editing checklist. This is my protocol for how I do each video. And then after publishing it, I remix it onto platforms like Twitter and LinkedIn. All right, now let's talk about some extra integrations you can add on to this to make it even better. First, we're going to talk about content riffs. I mentioned this a little bit earlier when I was going through the system, but what it is basically a way to help me get through writer's block. So whenever I'm going on a walk or just doing exercise, or whenever I feel like, really, I'll pull out this voice app called Whisper Memos, and I'll hit record, and I'll just yap about the topic for like 10 minutes. Then I'll stop. I'll get that the app will automatically make an AI summary if you pay the $60 a year, I think. And then you can copy the text and put it straight into your Notion. That's really useful as just getting a quick outline of the topic. Then you can, because I find it's a lot easier to cut bits out and put tiny bits in and change words around than it is to write something from scratch. So that process just gets me over that hump of starting a bit. I know you can use Ali Abdaal's voice pal as well. I personally haven't used it because I'm a cheapskate. So if you're interested in using that content creation Notion template, I'll leave it in the description for you. And if you've heard that you should be implementing AI into your content workflow, but you just don't know where to start, this video walks you through a simple prompting format that'll get you most of the bang for your buck that you need.